So Bungie uh released this I think it was a couple hours ago or something. But this is Marathon, which what people on YouTube and Twitter are calling it Concord 2.0 because it just looks like a generic first person shooter. And with the market filled with so many shooters, you need something to stick out. Having maybe a cool art style just isn't enough because an art style won't do much if the gameplay is bland and just what you've seen everywhere else. You need something that people haven't done before, haven't seen before. I understand it's probably hard to create those things or at least think of the concepts that they could implement, but it's 2025. It's 2025. We have the technology. We can make them stronger, faster, smarter. But the fact is, in a market filled with first-person shooters, you need something to stand out. But who knows? Maybe it will stand out as Concord 2.0.
The end of all things. But the dream is not over. My dream. Yours. Now. Run.
So the colors are bold, at least. And that's where it ends. That's really all I can think of. It looks like, it's like from people who brought you Halo. It looks like Halo. I don't think it's going to be doing anything that Halo hasn't done already. That's, going to really make people say, "Oh my god!" It just looks like a Halo Overwatch sort of mix. And again, God, I just love living next to rednecks. I really do. Guys just constantly out there literally every day working on that damn truck, and all you hear is sometimes it's 12 o'clock at night. I'm trying to fall asleep and all I hear is but yeah, there's nothing that screams original here. Like I said, it looks nice. Like the colors are very dark and bold. But I'm not seeing anything that would make someone say, "Oh wow, I'm gonna totally play this over, Halo and whatever else." Watch full trailer now. Yeah, Destiny, and it's just, again, when you have a market filled with things like first-person shooters, you need to do something to stand out. I mean, name alone is not going to get you the, "Oh, Bungie, you mean Halo and Destiny?" And That's not enough. Especially look at all the big companies nowadays that have just failed time and time and time and time again now. They honestly think that their reputation alone, that the name of the company alone is going to get people excited about a game. When they're putting out stuff like this, that's like, yeah, it may look a little nice, but it just looks like the same thing we've seen over and over in Halo, and we got Destiny and Overwatch and this and that. So there's nothing, unless they're going to reveal more, and it's like, oh my god, you can create portals to other planets while you fight, and you can attack people from those portals, and you can go to distant planets and rearrange the destructible maps and stuff like that. Unless if it's something cool, then maybe, but it just looks more of the generic say, hey, we've seen this all before kind of thing. And you don't want that. You don't want that. In a day and age where people are creating the same type of game over and over and over. It's like with you see it with these games, you see it with like open world games and stuff like that. They think that the name alone of the IP or the company will be enough to carry them through. With that, oh yeah, that'll hype people up. Once they see that we're releasing this kind of game, they'll be creaming their pants trying to. No, sorry. Nowadays, reputation alone, or it's not enough. It's not enough. You need to bring something new to the table. And for what I've seen, some of the animations look nice. Like I said, bold colors, which makes it really, really pop. Like these could be faded and all that, but even on the characters, they're bold. They're right there. You can pretty much with full clarity see what's what, and even the darker colors, like of the stairs, they're where you can. So it's colorful. Like look at this, very colorful. But that's all I'm seeing here. That's all I'm seeing. Then we have this on Twitter. I mean, a lot of the time you can tell how a game's going to end up just by who's working on it. That same guy from Twitter, gay as fuck, weightlifter, producer of on Marathon, Pitbull Dad and Pokemon Master, BLM, trans right, Chinja la migra, kindness is an action. Bungie blocked me because I suggested trans people be treated like everyone else instead of being treated like they are special. The audacity. Anything coming out of Western Studios, I basically disregard now. That bio has every red flag imaginable, including being a Pitbull owner. Kinja la migra. Oh no, game's probably going to have some virtue signaling about illegals and refugees. They never learn. Shit's gonna bomb harder than Concord. Anyone who played Destiny knew all this before. Tifa cosplay is funny, at least. They're referring to the his cosplay as playing as cosplaying as Tifa. Kindness is an action, and love is a fist. Oh no, not Marathon. Western gaming companies rotting cesspools of racist cult ideology. Bungie hires the best cringe. That's the producer? So fucked indeed. That's why Destiny 2 failed. Ah, bummer. Goodbye, Marathon. It was nice knowing ya. Kindness is an action. Also, fuck anyone who doesn't agree with me. Yep, this will fail. Pitbull Dad, gay. Black Lives Matter. Trans rights. This guy is a walking petri dish. Extraction shooter is all you had to say. Damn, what a shame. Good old Bungo. The fact that they made Marathon into an extraction shooter already ruined it, to be honest. It's over, chat. It's over. It's only dump Sweet Baby, but keep all their notes. Probably. actually it actually gets released. That sucks. Yikes, not buying or playing this shit. That's one zesty buck. Holy flipping Christmas. Um we got Pirate Nation. Marathon is just Concord 2. Characters from from Bungie's new game Marathon versus Marvel Rivals. Oh, the baby. You're mocking me, aren't you? Whis, I don't like to be mocked. Wait, how ID software how ID software will sleep tonight knowing that they will remain unchanged as kings of FPS after watching Bungie's Marathon showcase. Marathon looks like a Concord twin brother. The Marathon Discord is losing it. Marathon launching at $40. Good luck. That if it is, that's another thing. If you're gonna have a generic shooter like that, you don't charge $40 for it. That's one reason why Concord failed, because they were asking money for it. Like a lot of money when it's not worth that much. I'm watching Marathon gameplay in the community and the chat is already killing the game. Y'all weird out here for real, never happy, and blah blah blah. Marathon is gonna flop like Concord. Again, art style doesn't make a good game. I mean, imagine thinking that art style made a good game. Marathon isn't free to play? Yeah, like I said, like the art or, the game itself looks nice for the most part. Very solid, very clean. Very bold colors. Like all the signs and the words you can read perfectly. Like I said, you can see the characters, very bold colors. This looks like something you'd snap onto the freaking gummy ship. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be going around blasting people with it with the freaking gummy ship music. Wah wah. Met a traveler from an antique land. Marathon reveal live action. About Bungie's Marathon, it's a dull, uninspiring modern game from a once revered studio that lost its muse decades ago. And yes, the lack of sexy, beautiful female characters is impossible to ignore. I mean, Marathon looks fine. Can't really imagine playing this more than a few hours without getting bored, but that aside, the fact that it's not free to play is insanity. There's no reason you'd play this game, play this over free games like Apex, Warzone, Fortnite, and D2. Yeah, like that right there. You've got 4 games significantly better. I mean, I don't even like Fortnite, and I know that it's a more superior game. So that's what I mean. It's like if you're gonna have a first-person shooter like this, and this kind of battle game, battle type title, you need to do something to make it stand out. Your company's reputation alone nowadays is not going to be enough to sell copies and get people playing. Sorry to say, if that was the case, then Ubisoft wouldn't be basically shit out of luck right now. BioWare, EA, they wouldn't have had to lay off like hundreds of people. So reputation alone isn't enough to sell the game. Having a game that looks nice isn't going to make it a good game. It's just going to be nice to look at when you get really, really bored with it. So, anyway, we'll have to see. I think there's another trailer. Hang on. All right, this is the reveal cinematic short. It's only about 8 minutes, so we'll just get into it.
I met a traveler from an antique land who said, two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that it spoke to well those passions red which yet survive. Stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, lifeless and the heart that fed.
Okay, so one thing I gotta say with the art style, the realism, or for the most part, the realism of like you see the water and the terrain, but then sometimes a good thing about having a less detailed or complicated model is that more fluid motions. You see it a lot with animation. When you see something like you look at like Dragon Ball Z, like all the moments where they say, don't pause on this moment because of how bad it looks. Sometimes when they're drawn with more of a basic kind of body and not so detailed, it's easier to animate. So the fighting scenes, because they're so fast, it looks a lot better. Like if you notice the art style, like the Sasuke versus Naruto fight, like that fight, the art style was completely different. It wasn't as detailed because there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of this going on, a lot of jutsu going on, and it's a lot easier to animate, and it becomes out more fluid than if it was detailed. Dragon Ball Z, as detailed as it was a lot of the times, when you pause it with the fight scenes, they look freaking goofy. They look basic because it's a lot easier to kind of tone down the advanced looking the way the drawing is. It's easier to make it look more fluid when you don't have to make it look so detailed. So sometimes artists, and they do the same thing in with 3D animation, the more basic look it is and stuff like that, the more fluid it can they can focus on getting it to be. But like I said, with the colors and the boldness of the colors and the textures alone, it kind of compensates. But
Welcome once again. Once again, once again. How's the new shell? How's the new shell feeling?
I mean, it feels just like what it is, right? Like $1 trillion. Like $1 trillion.
Sakaguchi Genetics sent a reminder. Your shell repayment is coming up and will be charged against your line of credit.
Yeah, I know. Do you mind if we skip the formalities this time? Got a big contract waiting down there, so.
Understood. Let's proceed with your grounding exercise. Are you familiar with this item?
That's my lucky charm. Yeah. It's supposed to be my lucky charm.
Can you identify her?
Yeah, that's my mom. That's your mother. Your mother.
Now, consider this. Do you recognize this child?
Who are you? I don't know.
It's you.
What? Really?
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you can see the kind of realism of the terrain. The terrain looks very good, but then you have like these basic colors and kind of not they're detailed, but you can see kind of what I'm talking about when things are simpler in design. You know, their movements are very fluid. It looks very natural, very genuine movements, rather than looking like someone who's just like animating it bit by bit. It looks like, you know, they might have had motion capture, and it turned out really well because every movement, because even with some games that have motion capture, they're still so stiff. They're very stiff because they're trying to make things as complicated and advanced as looking as possible. But these are generally basic looking. So their movements are very nice and fluid. So when they turn around, you don't have that weird, you know, thing that you see in a lot of games. You know, they're turning around. When they're turning around, it looks natural. It looks, you know, and so I do appreciate that. But, you know, and the, you know, you got the ground, the water, the sky. You know, we saw some of the earthy terrain, or the not earthy terrain, but just terrain itself. It looks very nice. But then in contrast with a lot of this stuff, which is very like almost cartoony. So, and, you know, and with the characters themselves, again, also very, very cartoony looking items and models. With this whole, this is like a very realistic terrain. It's just a very weird combination, but it's working, I guess, at least for the cinematic. Because again, it's a cinematic, so naturally it's always going to look way better than the game itself. But it looks nice.
Hey, what's that you always tune into? Worth anything?
I don't know, but I like it. It speaks to me.
Let me listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
You ever wonder what happened to these people?
It's not my business.
And this music is. You'll have a tough time finding a buyer.
Good. It's not for sale. Give it to me.
Just don't keep you. I don't.
And on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Despair. Nothing beside remain. Nothing beside remain. Round the decay of that colossal wreck. Round the decay of that boundless wreck. Boundless, alone and level sands stretch far away.
Do you recognize this child?
I don't know. Is that me?
Okay, so yeah, what was like here? Yeah, look, like this is what I'm talking about. You see the sunset, you see the field here is like corn, but then you see these very goofy looking, cartoony looking, structures and all that. And it's just it just looks so out of place, but I do appreciate how nice it looks. But again, looking nice, this is a cinematic. It's supposed to look nice. But the game itself, that's a different story. I like the music. And did he say Ozymandias, King of Kings? Hang on, let me go back. Yeah, it's Ozymandias, King of Kings. Um, okay, interesting. This is gonna be like an overarching villain or something. If that's how the game's gonna go, if you're gonna have some kind of campaign mode. Every time you see a dude named Ozymandias, it's never good. It's never good. King of Kings. But yeah, you can see like the sky and but then you saw what I was talking about with the fluidity of the chase scene, and like it looks almost like it was just live action. If you took away kind of the goofy, fake looking, or not fake, but like cartoony looking stuff, like the structures, it would look like it was just live action. Like, look at this. It looks really nice between the flips and the lighting, and it looks really nice. If only they put that much effort into the game itself. You see the water. I mean, the water effects aren't that great. It wouldn't be cascading really off like that. But it's whatever. But yeah, the lighting is really good. And then you see like just a bunch of flips and twists and turns and jumping over things and different lightings going on, and like a bunch of like parkour type things. And again, you have all this, like, look how goofy they look. Like, they don't look like they belong in this world at all. Everything is so realistic, and they're very cartoony. I don't know, maybe that's the whole point. I don't know. Like right here, when it starts, I mean, look at this. The motion. I stopped on the wrong thing, it looks like. There you go. That's a much better thing to stop on. But yeah, I mean, a good cinematic isn't going to save a game. Good graphics aren't going to save a game. The name alone of Bungie isn't going to save the game. What it needs is good gameplay, and what it needs is something that separates it from everything else. Even its own games, you know, Halo, Destiny, it needs to do something that neither of them have already done. You know, need to stay ahead of the curve. You need to push the boundaries. You need to push the envelope and try new things. Even if it doesn't work, people will appreciate the fact that you tried something new. But anyway, what do I know? That's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.